Alright, give me a minute to get situated. Once everything is situated. Alright. Volume control check. Hello. Volume. Good. Hello everyone, bubbled into 720 here, bringing you part 144 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. We're gonna go ahead. I already pre-made everything for this. Smiles are beginning to appear on the people's faces, and it is in no small part due to you, my friend. So we're gonna do anti-shark harpoons. Yes, impressively sturdy yet suitably light. A harpoon such as this should serve us well against sharks and help to keep our water safe. Alrighty, yep. And with this, we now have enough harpoons to arm our guards. Regular patrols may finally commence. As anticipated, our guards were very pleased with their new harpoons. What I did not anticipate, however, was that our youths would also take a shine to them. They were quite fascinated by its foreign construction. And this is a source of delight for you, Hisui. Placing one's trust in land dwellers, I cannot think of a greater folly. It will not do for the sentiment to spread. Lord Jikan. And Lord Shiosai besides. To what do I owe the honor? It has come to my attention that our citizens are being led astray, seduced first by outsider medicines and now outsider weapons. I labored to comprehend how the princess could permit this. 'Tis bad enough that the guards have taken up these harpoons, now our youths desire them too. Mark my words, this can end in naught but bloodshed. Lest we forget, both the Confederacy and the Kojin were dragged into Doma's bloody conflict against the Empire. Should their leader, this Lord Hien, learn that our people are arming themselves and his insatiable thirst for war, he may well come banging on our gates to demand our participation. Surely you see the danger. With respect, my lord, may I remind you that this is not the palace. There are eyes and ears all around us. Foreign eyes and ears. Yep, right here. I would remind you also of the agreement, that you and your fellow elders would watch how the citizens respond to Her Grace's plan. As impartial observers, your words can ill be described as impartial. We have not to gain by cowering inside our little bubble. Nay, by shutting out the rest of the world in the name of tradition, we but consign ourselves to a slow demise. You presume to lecture me, Hisui. You who know little and less of worldly matters, whose sole purpose is to attend Her Grace. For a moment, though, I thought the princess herself was addressing me. You have ever shared her looks, but it seems you have taken on her mannerisms as well. Yes, it must be all the years serving Her Grace. I have, come to know her mind as though it were my own. Well, I suppose this is but a fleeting infatuation with the novel and new. Given time, the people will remember the dangers that lurk and come to their senses. Now, there's a man you can love to hate. I take it he's the conservative in chief. You might say that, and yet, independent of his influence, many others harbor the selfsame fear. The fear that, by throwing open Suino Sato's gates, we would be swallowed up in a maelstrom of foreign agenda. When a simple bloody harpoon could trigger such a fearful reaction, your people really have no stomach for conflict. Well, no one with any sense would, but this is just unhealthy. Indeed, 'tis an irrational fear ingrained over generations and perpetuated by willful ignorance. If we are to free ourselves from it, we must have the chance to know the world above. Give me them goodies. Kurenai is delighted with your efforts. She now considers you a stalwart of Suino Sato's emergence. And yet, there is still much work to be done if the people of Suino Sato are to shed their apprehensions towards the outside world. To that end, Kurenai has a new favor to ask of you. Your Grace, if I may, there is a particular item that I would request of Master Hero. But of course, Shiosai. None among us is more familiar with our people's daily lives than you. What is it that ails them? As your Grace knows, we dwell at the bottom of the sea by virtue of the Kojin's enchantments. Yet, though we have air to breathe and live, our home has ever been a bitterly cold place. Due to our closed environment, we cannot avail ourselves of the benefits of fire, and so we have had to endure covering ourselves with such garments as we possess. While this may suffice for the young and healthy, the old and infirm struggle simply to survive. Indeed, the cold has ever been a trial for us, yet I have heard of a place above far colder still, a land of endless winter where ice falls instead of rain. There a great nation thrives, and its people must have effective ways of coping in that frozen clime, such as garbs of transcendent warmth. That's gotta be Kurthus, I reckon. I've never been that far out of Ul'dah, at least not until now. But you've definitely been there, right, Hero? Mm-hmm. I liberated that place. Count on me. I already got it made. Well, half of it. A more dependable adventurer I have never known. I shall let you all return to your work, then. By your leave. My character needs to bow back. How unhonorable. So disrespectful. Permit me to echo Shiosai's sentiment. Truly we are blessed to have a dependable ally such as you. I shall look forward to seeing the fruits of your labors. The custom deliveries list for Kurenai has been updated. To view the new list, speak with Kurenai and select Make a Delivery. I already got them set up. Each day is filled with new discoveries. Though the work can be tiring, I could not imagine a more worthwhile way to expend my energies. My, such thick, warm garments, not that we have could compare to this. Thus clothed, we need no longer shiver through the night. Alright, that's the same. This could get me a level up. Nope. Just barely missed it. Oh well. I am truly grateful for your many contributions, Hero. At risk of repeating myself, I find myself marveling at your versatility. Is there not that you cannot do? There's a lot of things I cannot do. You have delivered the weekly maximum of 6 items to Kurenai. You may begin making deliveries again starting Tuesday at 4 AM Earth time. Yay. Alright, so basically I'm only going to do that custom delivery. I'm not going to go ad correct, because if you look over here down at Loey, I got orphanage donation. Yay. So we're going to preserve that and use that. I gotta speak with Alice. I think that's an old Charlian. So we're gonna go and head and story it up. By the way, everyone, happy 7.2 day. Patch 7.2 is now up and running. A few quality of life changes, a bunch of updates, more content, yay. Oh, I can't mount here. Dang. Heading out for a stroll. The Scholark himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. I often know of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less. Will wonders never cease. You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Oh, I just hit 86. Cool. Alright, so one of the changed features is that after sprinting, as long as you don't move into a new area or get into combat, you will have a jog buff, which means your movement speed is increased once sprint ends. And jogging time. Not that much of a difference. It's a little bit different, but it's the little things that count. Here it is, phenomenon. Well, I expect you to made note of it before. One can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? Yeah, haven't been inside yet. While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. At the center of what would later become the studium, it was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, phenomenon was decreed complete and the studium officially opened at the place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, the countless other fields standing proud as... Give me 2 seconds, I need a drink. My throat is getting parched. Juice will quench it. Charlene's foremost educational institute. He always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then. Youngest to enter the studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on. You both joined the studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the studium's most notorious master debater. Ha! In all respects have I ever been in his shadow. If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Levier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck it might work to our advantage. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholar Montaigne. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Alright, we get to gumshoe it. That was Alphino Levier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levier. And he's with his sister and Master Baldessian's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. Not really. Oh, sorry. You said you're looking for the Scholark, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere. But Miss Aliapo should have a better idea. Aliapo? That sounds familiar. Are you lost, wandering off the street perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. That sounds kind of, off a little bit. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the studium? That's right, books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. I have Pisa this, tongue of Guggentoad, that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end. which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. Yeah. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the Scholark's whereabouts. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. The only thing I'm interested in gleaning... I beg your pudding. You're not a gleaner, then this was all an elaborate ruse? No, wait, come to think of it, you never actually claimed to be one in the first place. My mistake. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in, and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. The time it's taken me to tell you all this, the Scholark has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Thank you. I think that's one of Zloe's family members. Oh, Alphino's got a bigger group of people with him. There you are. Yes, the Scholark was here a short while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor, perhaps to one of the auditoriums. Fun. There he is. Hey, look, I got one of these. Go on. Astro. Learners meet, huh? Alright. I gave you enough time. Back to Warrior. There he is. Found him.
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still can't believe how much you've grown. If only your grandsires could have seen the way you presented yourselves to the Forum. Why, it fair brought a tear to my own eye. You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student. Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
Sounds good to me.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy. Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried. Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic.
Do
As
it.
such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
These lips are sealed.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Heh.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology. The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul, and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Corporeal ether, magic, say corporeal ether.
Yes, very good. This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would be hidden.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago.
Yeah.
And what might that have been?
The Warrior of Light stuff. Cart now.
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act. The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation. Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace.
That's good.
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If
Possible.
9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, We must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose. But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Maybe it's a choice.
Well, I think that's enough education for today. Now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
And they go poof. Oh, that kind of reminds me of Sword in the Stone a little bit.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Yay! I thank you.
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Ki Aliapo. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Kind of a creepy laugh for such a benevolent man. You have been granted the run of Phenomenon. If you're game, Ki Aliapo would put your artisanry to good use, making me a gleaner. We're gonna put this away. Alright, a capital idea. Well, that's given me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the form's true motives and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny, I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Ki Aliapo, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Raha. Sure. I will go and ingratiate myself to Ki. We'll just go on Culinarian. The faculty. It's you. You're the one the scholar was telling us about, Hero, yes? Brilliant. Just the man I was hoping to see. As I'm sure you are aware, the Studium is the most prestigious educational institution in all of Sharlayan. As such, we make a point of only working with the best educators and students. The gleaners we employ are also held to the same high standards, of course, which is perhaps why it has been so difficult to find the assistance we need of late. Surely you understand the trouble of finding competent and capable help. That you are come here suggests you're willing to lend a hand, no? I'm certain you would have much to gain from working with us, if so. Do let me know should you commit to lending your services to the studium. I should warn you, however, there is much I must explain ere you begin, so please be certain you have sufficient time to spare. Sure. Now, allow me to explain our work here. Professors and students from our many faculties gather in Searchers Meet in order to do business with and to recruit reputable individuals such as yourself. Allow me to briefly introduce those here at present. Here we have Boric from the Faculty of Archaeology. He works as an assistant to one Professor Rurusha and is currently seeking a skilled metalworker to help restore an ancient relic. Then there's Jude, who belongs to the Faculty of Astronomy. He seems to be looking for an artisan able to work with leather, cloth, or wood, but he wouldn't tell me much more than that. He's awfully shy, you see. Next we have Debroy, a student studying in the Faculty of Medicine. I'm fairly sure she's carrying out research under the supervision of Professor Galvarok. In any case, I hear she's after someone who knows a thing or two about medicine and nutrition. And here's Hinagashi of the Faculty of Anthropology. She told me she's searching for botanists and miners at present. By the sounds of it, she and Professor Tankin are dealing with a formidable task. Last but not least, this is Professor Talaka Tia, an associate professor in the Faculty of Aetherology. I heard he's in need of a fisher to help him conduct research for his thesis. Unfortunately, things do not seem to be progressing well for him at the moment. I'd say those 5 are the ones most in need of supplementary aid. I'll leave it to your discretion as to who you choose to help. Although, be forewarned, academics can be something of an odd bunch. Just be sure not to leave anyone in the lurch after you've agreed to help them. You may now undertake deliveries at the studium. Speak to those belonging to the institution's various faculties to learn what ails them. Cool. Alrighty then. So I can talk with all these people and gain stuff, but right now I'm not going to go do that. That was just to open it up. Probably just start sprinting so I could get that jog buff faster. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the grand companies of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession in Limsa Lominsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive. It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? He is a strong man. Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain, though. Vritra and the alchemists of the Great Work put their heart and soul in each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the Forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn, I can feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. Yep. Gonna go port. Port. It is kind of a little bit of a letdown that you can't keep it between areas. It does wear off once you zone, but oh well. The little things. I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seedseer and the Sultana, 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Let me in. Sorry, I got a message. My apologies for calling you away from Charlene at such short notice. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers, and it is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. Ooh, I think this is going to be a crazy part. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Charlian, the allied nations have been engaged on separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge of abductions of Kobold, Sahaga, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Rad's Hand has given us cause to hope once more. Time has come to free ourselves of this menace, and it is you, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Talafaroi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. Yes! It's that time. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Talafaroi's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. Do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that there could be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, and on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there's reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Talafaroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the Spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be substantiated by Y'shtola's analysis of the Tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the Spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Count me in. Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. Since I'll be spearheading. For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, for revenge against the Telophoroi. Honor and glory. Couldn't have put it better myself. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Orion J have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision that they did. Luckily for all involved, their prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scale to Talamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. Raban and Lord Emmerich are overseeing preparations, so I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. Pack warm clothing, furs, and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telophoroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go. Safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Heard. Completely blanked out on where I had to go next. Alamegan Quarter. Okay. Oh, man. Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys and destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding skills of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Emmerich be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. We dare to neglect our duties for too long lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. Can't please them all. Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side charging into the fray. Alas, I have battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I hate to say it, but Lord Emmerich's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Ha! Word of your exploits travels quickly. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us. Strange, I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telophoroi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varus and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsabard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Smart. Whether I am branded a villain or hailed as a hero would only hinder your efforts. I will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they'll be pleased to see the champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlean soil. A fair point, but so long as you refrain from announcing your arrival to all and sundry, the average person should have no inkling as to your identity. Although your titles and deeds are common knowledge, only a select few would recognize you on sight alone. Perhaps one day they will learn that the Warrior of Light is not a demon to be feared, but a man deserving of their trust. Ooh. I got praise from the wolf himself. Was it the Black Wolf or the... Yeah, I think it's Black Wolf. Yeah, I need a drink. In light of Gaius' rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you, all of you. I would buy Emmerich's gear if it wasn't for those stupid shoulder plates. I am not a fan of the shoulder plates. Ooh, best of the best. The other members of the Ilsebard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this stupid thing is that those goddamn shoulders. Love the gloves, though. That's probably the only thing I would use. Ah, the remaining members of the Scions. Your friends and the most of the Ilsebard contingent await you within. Would you like to see me to see you through? Sure. Put me in, boss.
By the 12.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose.
Yep.
We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsebard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia.
Lucia.
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
A lot of familiar faces.
We welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
If you notice, it's a lot of the job trainers that are also in this group.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
I like Lucia. It's a really strong group.
Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way. Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wonder if the dialogue would have been different if I hadn't picked up Conjure.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship. So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
Took a bullet to the leg in order for him to, get his stuff together.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
Lot of lalas.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the avatar of destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabad contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require.
Smart, but in a way calculating, since, she's
The
a
four
Garlemald.
high houses, House Hylinard foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission.
Yeah, she's Garlean, so...
Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature, together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa.
At least you know that she's, not a turncoat.
There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolaine! Ah, yes. Emanolaine de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
May your graceful prancing lead the way to victory. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Heon, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
I know who it is.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Ah, Sadu. Sadu is one of my favorite characters ever.
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities, which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Maxima, who stands with us today, tried to reform Garlemald from within and make peace with Doma.
Oop, no, do not skip the cutscene.
So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlund Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Lies. I'll be able to port it in and out. Alright. Oh boy, that's a lot of people. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsebard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they could better aid the cause by bolstering our defenses in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Sure. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Yes. Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. That is a set of warding scales I spy. Not that I would know what they looked like anyways. Here you go. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Anyway, these'll give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. I hear you've got something for us. Yep. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. And one more thing, I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Ernzar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilford told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes on airships. Kind of the same thing. Yes. So these are the famed warding scales, enough for me and my men, I see. Under normal circumstances, I would not be allowed to travel outside of the 12's Wood. The Elder Seedseer, however, has granted me special permission. She has bid me lend my magics to the people of Garlemald while learning all I can of their ways. In so doing, I will come closer to understanding myself and my place in the world, or so she says. I say it is past time our allies benefited from the power at a Seedseer's disposal. Some bemoan that we hide our light under a bushel, and I intend to address that criticism. Alright, who's the last person then? Serena. We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Oh, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times, yes. I will see that no one misplaces theirs. And before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Cool. Maxima. You have a wording scale for me too. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsebard, and I cannot stress enough that this is not token warning. I will be distributing especially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now let us proceed to the Alamigan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready their airships. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Estinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. Hark, is that the cry of scions in need of a tailor, I hear? Tataru. But how? I have my ways. Oh yes, indeed. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsebard without telling me? Ha, nothing escapes my notice. Now you will wear these garments I made for you whether you like it or not. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion, rather the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? I did have one other thing to share. Ergemhaus and Blomwitta have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Sharlayan. Oh, why not? You can keep Kryle company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Ergemhaus and Blomwitta did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't be collapsing again because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Sharlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you other than pray for your safe return, which I will every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Or the people watching. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. I got an alpine jacket. Or a coat. Pardon me. Gotta get some food after this stream. North Sea Code, that's what it's called. No offense, Totaro, but it's not my style. A frosty reception. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Iron Works will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable Imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of this expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you're ready to depart, I will ready the engines. Upon boarding the airship, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Yes.
Ilsabard, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly? On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius.
Sorry.
The winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
The Mandolin. Mr. Pampered himself.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps?
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they are led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Tempered.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment?
Savage beatings.
Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Oh, man.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments, and once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Classic.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into two groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Oh, I don't get the spearhead this time. Alrighty. I'll play defender. You rogue. Meanwhile, in the Imperial Supply Depot.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Pistola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks. All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes. Trust in the plan, and we should all live to see tomorrow.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
I get to play as Thancred. Yay. This part always reminds me of Metal Gear Solid. Assuming there's nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence the mission as soon as you are ready. Go over the finer details of the plan, learn about mission exclusive actions, commence the mission.
Keep
Ready?
your wits about you.
It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Solid Barrel, Nebula, Swift Deception, Silent Takedown. What's Deception? Ah, cool. Time he took a nap. Silent Takedown. Oh shit. Oh well.
Must be losing my touch.
My bad. I'm gonna pull you over this way. Oh, that didn't work. I gotta remember to knock the people out first. My bad. There we go. Oh shit. Alright, so those guys move quickly.
Spotted.
Didn't work. That sucks. Yeah, I know. I noticed. Okay, so that doesn't kill them. Alright, I'm probably gonna die. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I played a damn sneaking game. I'll do better, I promise. I'm learning. So I can't go that way. Set explosives on the Magitech weaponry. Ah, shit.
Must be losing my touch.
I gotta avoid these damn things. The robots are the ones that screw me. Everything else is pretty much okay.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Is there a robot over here? There is. I don't know how to get rid of the slasher. Oh, crap. That didn't work at all. I'm gonna probably screw this part. I'm not gonna get very many screw-ups. God, I do not like this at all. I'm pretty much gonna fail this. Gotta wait till he goes that way. Shit! Ah, fuck.
Losing my touch.
Game over. I failed. 99, 100. Yeah. Oh, duty failed. I forgot how I did this. What? You kicked me out all that way? Ooh, damn. Fuck you. I did this on normal. Script. Okay, I'll read the instructions this time. In the coming battle, you'll fight as Thancred. You have two objectives. Place explosives in the Imperial Magitech, deactivate the frontline Magitech units via the control terminal. If the guards detect and pursue you, enemy forces will become more aware of the threat you pose, as indicated by the threat awareness gauge. The gauge will gradually fill until you defeat all alerted enemies. If the gauge is completely filled, the guards will call for reinforcements and the mission will end in failure. Use swift deception to avoid detection as you go about completing your objectives. Alright. Let's see how things work. Success in this mission hinges on the following points. Swift Deception renders Thancred invisible and increases his movement speed. While active, enemy soldiers and Magitech will be unable to perceive Thancred's presence, even if they're within close proximity. However, it has no effect on the guard dog's acute sense of smell, and they'll be able to detect Thancred regardless. Moreover, this action can only be used outside of combat. It will also be unavailable when Thancred attempts to deactivate Magitech fields or execute certain other actions. Thancred's silent takedown will instantly render a soldier unconscious. It can only be used while Swift Deception is in effect. Though it cannot be used on Magitech or guard dogs, utilizing silent takedown whenever possible is essential in clearing a path to your objectives. As guard dogs to detect Thancred even when Swift Deception is active, you can instead use a bewilderment bomb to distract them and sneak past unnoticed. Conversely, bewilderment bombs have no effect on Magitech or soldiers, so take care to choose the right tool for the situation. Okay. So there's nothing to do for Magitech.
Keep your wits about you.
Well, crap baskets.
We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
I'll do this a little bit better than I did last time. Alright. So far, so good. I hate that you can't do anything for the stupid enemies. Or the Magitech. I guess that's all the Reapers. Let them go. So I have to kind of follow the, I guess, the pattern, as it were. Wonder how close I can get. I'll wait for this to pass, then I'll go. Guess I just have to sneak by them. I don't like it though, because the sneak function for these is kind of wonky.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
As soon as it turns its back, I'm going to go ahead and destroy this soldier and unlock. I was an idiot and I went the hard way. Okay. I did not need to do that. I do need to take this guy out. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Crap. Alright, you're out. I had to be careful of you now. And the slasher. You out next. How do I take care of that doggo, though? There's two slashers. Oh, that sucks. Go. Damn it. Shit, I can't do that. Maybe I do have to pick these guys off one at a time. No farther. When he comes back, I'm gonna smack him. Then we're gonna take the dog out. Incapacitated. Damn it.
Spotted.
I'm gonna be really pissed if I can sit right here and not get spotted. What? Really? That kind of pisses me off a little bit. How literal. Alright, so it's not like super like close. I have to get to that control terminal. Withdraw from the supply depot. Wow, I was taking it as in, like, how easily stuff usually pulls. That would have been a lot easier if I had known that their line of sight is a lot worse than I thought it would be. My bad.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
What news from our comrades?
I made that way harder than it should have been.
They stand
I feel like
ready.
I feel like an idiot.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
The interesting trigger. Have out at me in the comments. A few moments later, at the rear of the Ilsabar contingent supply caravan.
The blizzard's beginning to clear.
And we're about to get
Vanguard should
screwed.
be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Ishtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right. But
Incoming.
wait! Something's coming!
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Vibing with the music now. Time for me to do the best thing that I do. Smash and crash.
Protect the others!
It's critting time. Oh, you're still here.
A brief respite, but stay alert.
I think I gotta move along.
Keep the carriages safe.
Assist the Menelon's troops.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of Ishgard is here!
Alright.
Display, but the other carriages are still in danger.
Can I attack this one yet?
We'll hold the line.
Now I can attack them. I want to do the most damage. Magitech reinforcements have arrived. Can I kill this? Nope. Oh, they stopped it. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna wreck it.
You lot alright back there? We're fine and ready for more. Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Oh. Didn't let me run up there. It automatically got to port me. Meanwhile, on the front line.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal in time. The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
That I did.
What weapon do you have? Oh, is that a gun lance?
That's Vergilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
Ah, petition for gun lance.
There's no end to them.
Here I come.
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Just in the nick of time. Please let me see. Let me at her. Let me at her. Let me have her.
There's
Let
no
me at
stopping
him.
us now. Come on. Let's show them what we're made of.
Oh, where did you show up, Pippin? Oh, you don't let me to go after her? I wanted to steal her gun and spear.
We have them now! Forward!
Oh, crap baskets.
Right! Let them have
There you go. Good job. Can't go over there and help them. Oh, she's showing up soon. Yes. Vigilia Van Corculum. At least I got to slide that one in before. Whoa! I'm not gonna let Magna overshadow me with warrior skills. Yep. I can take care of myself. Oh, crap baskets. Sadu, could use your, oh, Jesus. Okay. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. She's outside of this. Gotcha. Eat them crits. Shit. Giga Tempest, huh? Oh crap, Vasquez.
Tremble before the sun!
Nice. Sadu is so psychotic, but I love her.
A worthy adversary! Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death!
Sadu Hatun!
Magna.
That was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan?
Got nicked, but we're alright.
Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades. And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Mm-hmm. Man, I feel so stupid during that stealth mission. I honestly was going in there thinking that they had a conal frontal view.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate. Colder indeed, bitterly so.
Carlamald. Like I was saying, I'm really sorry with how I piss poorly took that stealth portion to heart. I'm usually pretty decent
Not
at
so
those.
much as a whisper.
It's just, like I said, I didn't think that the field of view for the Magitech would be so narrow. I was expecting, like, normally when you run around, the field of vision for enemies is vast. Like, you can't even, you have to be, like, right behind them. Like, not right behind them, but you need to be behind them. If you're on the sides or in the front, you're usually seen and attacked. That's what I was going at. And that's the way I was trying to do things. I just didn't think it would be that. I actually, if I go back and did that again, I could get a 0% detection rate. It's just, woof.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
A buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Camp Broken Glass. First things first, get that aetherite. Yay, I'm aetherite attuned. So now we're in Garlemald. In spite of the obstacles we faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in the building to the northeast of the camp? Alice and I will meet you there. Junkmonger. Dang it. Gemstone trader. I travel around with the troops, purveying my wares wherever they go. I'm still setting up shop, but come back later and I'd be happy to do business with you. You must progress further to the Endwalker main scenario in order to access this vendor's wares. Ah, you suck. Hi, Moogle. Kupo. A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way there over once my head is cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. Tis the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Aether flows unceasingly towards it, converging with the swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Remember, she's blind. Oh, yeah. That's the tower. That's the capital, by the way. She's blind, so she uses a kind of like magic sense to see the aether purveying. You'll be pleased to know most of the tempered have been quartered inside nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking aloud. You mentioned a meeting. I will make my way there. We'll do the meeting and then call it. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows. Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroy's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
There you go.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers on their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern.
Yeah.
All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
I thought they're mocking us.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
Yeah.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rhine. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
If there are any survivors, we will surely find them. Extensive travel is something of an understatement, but I suppose if there's nothing else that needs doing. Ice fields? I love ice fields. Oh wait, no I don't. We'll find them.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
Let's go finish this out. Gods be good, if it's this cold with Tataro's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. Tracks in the snow. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like rather a tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the Eblan Rhine for survivors. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone? You take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. And he runs off. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. Alright, so Eblin, if you guys played Final Fantasy IV, was the name of Edge's town, or kingdom. That's where the ninjas come from. But anyways, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you all for watching. This has been part 144 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. Again, sorry about my bungling the stealth mission. I will do better in the future. If you'd like to go ahead and give me a thumbs up by hitting that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber to keep up with the content. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay. You are completely free to have out at me in the comments. Just don't throw any spoilers in there, please, for the story. I really would hate to have to delete stuff because of spoilers. Anyways, catch you then. Later.